Did you know there's a sacred object that can protect your home from any evil attack? Something many people already have, but don't know how to use correctly. Even worse, those who don't have it at home might be leaving a dangerous door open for negative forces that affect their life and their families. If lately you feel that problems are only increasing, that the peace in your home has been replaced by arguments, illnesses, and constant worries, pay attention. This knowledge can change everything. Have you ever wondered why some homes seem blessed with harmony and protection, while others struggle with constant challenges? The answer might be simpler than you think, and it's something Pope John Paul II often spoke about with great passion and wisdom. Imagine a shield, invisible to the naked eye, but powerful enough to repel any negative energy trying to enter your home. Now, what if I told you that this shield is not just a metaphor, but a real spiritual tool that you might already have in your possession? This isn't about superstition or magic. It's about a profound spiritual truth that has been known for centuries, but often overlooked in our modern world. Pope John Paul II, known for his deep spiritual insights, emphasized the importance of this tool throughout his papacy. He saw it not just as a religious symbol, but as a key to unlocking divine protection and blessings for families around the world. But here's the catch. Having this object isn't enough. It's like owning a state-of-the-art security system, but never turning it on. Many homes have this spiritual shield, but it remains dormant, its power untapped. And for those who don't have it at all, well, they might be more vulnerable than they realize. In the next few minutes, we're going to uncover this powerful secret. You'll learn not just what this object is, but how to activate its protective power in your own home. This isn't just about avoiding bad luck or negative energy. It's about creating a sanctuary of peace, love, and divine protection for you and your loved ones. Before we dive deeper, I want you to think about your own home. Have you noticed any unexplained tension, recurring problems, or a general sense of unease? These might not be random occurrences. They could be signs that your spiritual protection needs strengthening. Are you ready to discover this ancient wisdom and transform your home into a fortress of spiritual strength? Stay with me, because what you're about to learn could be the key to bringing peace, harmony, and divine protection into your life in a way you've never experienced before. Let's talk about something that's been in many Christian homes for centuries, but its true power often goes unrecognized. I'm talking about the Holy Rosary. Now, you might be thinking, isn't that just a necklace with beads? But it's so much more than that. Pope John Paul II called it a weapon of extraordinary power against Satan. Imagine the Rosary as a spiritual shield, a force field of divine protection around your home. It's not just a decorative item or a family heirloom. It's a direct line to heaven, a powerful tool that can transform the energy of your home and the lives of everyone in it. But here's the thing. Many people have a rosary at home, maybe hanging on a wall or tucked away in a drawer, but they're not using it. It's like having a superhero's shield, but never picking it up to defend yourself. The power is there, waiting to be activated, but it remains dormant. Pope John Paul II often spoke about the rosary's ability to bring peace, not just to individuals, but to entire families and even nations. He saw it as a way to strengthen family bonds, protect against negative influences, and invite divine blessings into the home. Think about your own home for a moment. Have you noticed more arguments lately? Do you feel a sense of unease or worry that you can't quite explain? Maybe there's been a string of bad luck or health issues. These could be signs that your home's spiritual protection needs strengthening. The Rosary isn't just about saying prayers. It's about creating a connection, a spiritual lifeline between your home and divine protection. When used correctly, it can create an atmosphere of peace and harmony that you can actually feel. But here's the crucial part. It's not enough to just have a rosary. You need to know how to use it effectively. Pope John Paul II emphasized this point throughout his life. He said, "The Rosary is my favorite prayer, a marvelous prayer, marvelous in its simplicity and its depth." Many people make the mistake of thinking that simply owning a rosary or hanging it on the wall is enough, but that's like having a powerful medicine and never taking it. The real magic happens when you actively engage with it, when you make it a part of your daily life. In the coming minutes, we're going to explore exactly how to unlock the rosary's protective power. You'll learn the right way to use it, where to place it in your home, and how to make it an active shield against negativity and spiritual attacks. If you've been feeling like your home could use some extra protection, if you've been searching for a way to bring more peace and harmony into your family life, you're in the right place. The wisdom we're about to share could be the key to transforming your home into a sanctuary of divine protection. Stay with us, because this knowledge isn't just interesting, it could be life-changing. And remember, if this information is already making you think differently about the Rosary, take a moment to subscribe to our channel. We'll be sharing more powerful spiritual insights that can transform your life and protect your loved ones. Now let's dive deeper into the power of the Rosary and how Pope John Paul II understood its profound impact. He once said, "The Rosary is the prayer of the humble and of saints. It is the prayer of my heart." But what exactly makes the Rosary so powerful? It's not just about the beads or the prayers themselves. It's about the spiritual connection it creates. Think of it as a direct line to heaven, a way to invite divine protection into your home. Pope John Paul II often spoke about how the Rosary acts as a shield against evil. He believed that when a family prays the Rosary together, they create a spiritual fortress around their home. It's like building an invisible wall that negative energies can't penetrate. But here's something crucial that many people don't realize. The Rosary's power isn't automatic. It needs to be activated through regular, heartfelt prayer. Pope John Paul II emphasized this, saying, "The Rosary, though clearly Marian in character, is at heart a Christ-centered prayer." What does this mean for you and your home? It means that simply hanging a rosary on your wall isn't enough. You need to engage with it, to pray with it regularly. When you do this, you're not just reciting words, you're invoking powerful spiritual protection. Pope John Paul II often shared stories of families who experienced remarkable changes after making the Rosary a central part of their lives. Homes that were once filled with conflict became havens of peace. People who struggled with anxiety found a new sense of calm. It wasn't magic. It was the result of inviting divine presence into their daily lives through the Rosary. But what about those who don't have a rosary at home? According to Pope John Paul II, they might be more vulnerable to negative influences. He saw the Rosary as a vital tool for spiritual defense in our modern world, where families face so many challenges. Here's an interesting fact. Pope John Paul II believed that the Rosary didn't just protect against external threats. He taught that it also strengthened families from within. When family members pray the Rosary together, they create a bond that's hard to break. It's like weaving an invisible net of love and protection around your loved ones. But there's more to it than just family harmony. Pope John Paul II spoke of the Rosary's power to bring about personal transformation. He believed that regular prayer with the Rosary could change hearts, heal old wounds, and even bring about miracles. Remember, this isn't about superstition. It's about tapping into a profound spiritual truth that has been known for centuries. The Rosary, when used correctly, becomes a conduit for divine grace and protection. As we continue, we'll explore exactly how to use the Rosary to create this protective shield around your home. You'll learn the do's and don'ts and how to make the Rosary an active force in your daily life. Stay with us, because this knowledge could be the key to bringing more peace, protection, and blessings into your home than you ever thought possible. Let's take a moment to hear some real stories of how the Rosary has changed lives. These aren't just tales. They're experiences shared by people just like you and me. Experiences that Pope John Paul II often cited as proof of the Rosary's power. Meet Sarah from New York. She's a mother of 3 who was struggling with constant arguments in her home. "It felt like we were always fighting," she says. "Big blow-ups over small things. I was at my wit's end." Then Sarah remembered the rosary her grandmother had given her years ago. Inspired by Pope John Paul II's teachings, she decided to give it a try. "I started praying the rosary every night, even if it was just for a few minutes," Sarah shares. "At first, nothing seemed to change, but after a couple of weeks, I noticed something. The arguments were less frequent. There was a calmness in a home that wasn't there before." Sarah's story isn't unique. It's a testament to what Pope John Paul II often said, that the rosary can bring peace to troubled homes. Then there's John from London. He was dealing with severe anxiety that was affecting his work and relationships. "I'd tried everything," John says. "Therapy, medication, you name it. Nothing seemed to help." A friend suggested he try praying the rosary, citing Pope John Paul II's words about its calming effects. "I was skeptical," John admits, "but I was also desperate." He started small, just a few prayers each day. "It was like a weight lifting off my shoulders," he says. "The anxiety didn't disappear overnight, but I felt stronger, more capable of handling it. It was like I had a new ally in my battle." These stories align perfectly with what Pope John Paul II taught about the rosary. He saw it not just as a prayer, but as a powerful tool for personal and family transformation. Another powerful story comes from Maria in Toronto. Her family was going through a tough time financially, and the stress was tearing them apart. "We were arguing about money all the time," Maria recalls. "It was horrible." She remembered hearing about the protective power of the rosary and decided to give it a shot. "I got the whole family involved," Maria says. "Every evening we'd gather and pray together. It wasn't easy at first. The kids were restless. My husband was skeptical. But we kept at it." The change, she says, was gradual, but profound. It wasn't just about our financial situation improving, which it did. It was about how we dealt with problems as a family. We became more united, more resilient. These stories aren't isolated incidents. They're examples of what can happen when people take Pope John Paul II's teachings about the rosary to heart. They show that the rosary isn't just a religious symbol. It's a practical tool for bringing peace, protection, and positive change into our homes. As you listen to these stories, think about your own life. Are there areas where you could use some extra spiritual support? Whether it's family conflicts, personal struggles, or just a general sense of unease, the rosary could be the answer you've been looking for. Stories like these are why we're so passionate about sharing this knowledge. If you're finding value in these insights, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel. We're on a mission to help more families discover the transformative power of spiritual practices like the rosary. Join us on this journey of discovery and transformation. Now let's talk about how you can start recognizing spiritual signs in your own life. Pope John Paul II often spoke about the importance of being aware of God's presence in our daily lives, and the rosary can help us tune into these spiritual signals. First, pay attention to your home's atmosphere. Have you noticed any changes lately? Maybe there's more peace, or perhaps there's tension you can't explain. These could be spiritual indicators. Pope John Paul II believed that a home protected by the rosary often experiences a noticeable shift in energy. Look for small, positive changes. Maybe you're arguing less with your spouse, or your kids are getting along better. These might seem like coincidences, but they could be signs of the rosary's influence. Remember, spiritual changes often start small. Notice how you feel when you pray. Do you experience a sense of calm or peace? Pope John Paul II often spoke about the inner peace that comes from praying the Rosary. If you're feeling more centered and less anxious, that's a good sign. Be aware of coincidences or unexpected help. Maybe a problem that's been bothering you suddenly gets resolved, or you receive unexpected assistance. These could be answers to your Rosary prayers. Pope John Paul II encouraged believers to see God's hand in everyday events. Pay attention to your dreams. Some people report more vivid or meaningful dreams after they start praying the Rosary regularly. While not everyone experiences this, it can be a sign of increased spiritual awareness. Watch for changes in your thought patterns. Are you finding it easier to forgive? Do you feel more compassionate towards others? These internal shifts can be subtle signs of the Rosary's impact on your spiritual life. Notice any improvements in your relationships. The Rosary is known for its power to heal and strengthen bonds. If you're communicating better with your loved ones, it could be a result of your prayers. Be alert to a growing sense of purpose or direction in your life. Many people report feeling more clarity about their path after incorporating the Rosary into their daily routine. This aligns with Pope John Paul II's teachings about the Rosary's ability to guide us. Look for increased strength in facing challenges. If you find yourself handling difficult situations with more grace and resilience, it could be a sign of the Rosary's protective influence. Finally, trust your intuition. Sometimes, you might just feel that things are different, even if you can't put your finger on exactly what's changed. This inner knowing is often a sign of spiritual growth. Remember, these signs can be subtle. Pope John Paul II often reminded us that God works in gentle ways. Don't expect dramatic Hollywood-style miracles. Instead, look for the quiet, persistent changes that add up to a transformed life. As you start to recognize these signs in your own life, you'll likely feel encouraged to continue your Rosary practice. This is exactly what Pope John Paul II hoped for, that people would experience the benefits firsthand and make the Rosary a central part of their spiritual life. By staying aware of these signs, you're not just passively waiting for change. You're actively participating in your spiritual journey, just as Pope John Paul II encouraged all believers to do. Keep your heart and mind open, and you may be amazed at the transformations you begin to see in your life and home. Let's dive deeper into understanding the Rosary's role in our spiritual journey. Pope John Paul II often emphasized that the Rosary isn't just a prayer, but a pathway to a profound connection with the divine. It's about becoming part of something much bigger than ourselves. Think of the Rosary as a spiritual lifeline. When you pray it, you're not just reciting words, you're tapping into a powerful current of grace that flows from heaven to earth. Pope John Paul II described it as a chain linking us to God. Every bead, every prayer is like a link in that chain, strengthening your connection to the divine. But here's the thing, this connection isn't just for your benefit. When you pray the Rosary, you're creating a protective shield that extends to your entire family and even your community. Pope John Paul II believed that the Rosary had the power to transform not just individuals, but entire societies. Imagine your home as a beacon of light in a sometimes dark world. When you pray the Rosary regularly, you're essentially turning on that beacon. You're creating a space of peace and protection that can influence everyone who enters your home. This is why Pope John Paul II was so passionate about families praying the Rosary together. He saw it as a way to strengthen family bonds and create a fortress of faith against the challenges of the modern world. In his words, the family that prays together stays together. But what about the bigger picture? How does your individual Rosary prayer fit into God's plan? Pope John Paul II taught that each Rosary prayer contributes to the spiritual well-being of the entire world. It's like dropping a pebble in a pond. The ripples extend far beyond what you can see. When you pray the Rosary, you're not just asking for protection for yourself. You're joining a global community of believers who are all working together to bring more light into the world. This is the power of collective prayer that Pope John Paul II often spoke about. Think about it this way. Every time you pray the Rosary, you're adding your voice to a worldwide chorus of prayer. You're part of something much bigger than yourself. This realization can be incredibly empowering and comforting, especially during difficult times. Pope John Paul II also emphasized the Rosary's role in personal transformation. As you pray regularly, you may find yourself becoming more patient, more compassionate, more at peace. These changes aren't just good for you. They radiate out to everyone around you. Remember, the Rosary isn't a magic spell that instantly solves all problems. It's more like a spiritual exercise that strengthens your soul over time. Just as regular physical exercise makes your body stronger, regular prayer with the Rosary makes your spirit more resilient. As we near the end of our discussion, take a moment to reflect on your own spiritual journey. How might incorporating the Rosary change your life and the lives of those around you? What ripples could you create in the pond of your community? If you found value in these insights and want to continue this spiritual journey with us, now is the perfect time to subscribe to our channel. We're committed to bringing you more of these life-changing spiritual truths, just as Pope John Paul II dedicated his life to sharing them with the world. Don't miss out on future videos that could transform your spiritual life and protect your loved ones. As we reach this final part of our journey, let's reflect on how the Rosary can truly transform your life. Pope John Paul II often said, "The Rosary is my favorite prayer." But why? What made it so special to him? And how can it become special to you? Think about your daily life for a moment. How often do you feel overwhelmed, stressed, or disconnected? In our fast-paced world, it's easy to lose touch with what really matters. This is where the Rosary comes in. It's not just a prayer. It's a way to reset, to reconnect, and to find peace in a chaotic world. Pope John Paul II saw the Rosary as a tool for personal transformation. He believed that through regular prayer, we could become better versions of ourselves. How might your life change if you had more patience, more compassion, more inner peace? The Rosary can be the key to unlocking these qualities within you, but it goes beyond personal benefits. How would your relationships improve if you brought more love and understanding into them? The Rosary isn't just about individual prayer. It's about creating a ripple effect of positivity in your family and community. Consider your home environment. Is it a place of peace and harmony, or is there tension and conflict? Pope John Paul II taught that homes where the Rosary is prayed regularly become sanctuaries of peace. Imagine coming home to a place filled with love and tranquility every day. That's the power of the Rosary at work. Now think about the challenges you face. We all have struggles, whether they're financial, health-related, or personal. How would your approach to these challenges change if you had a stronger spiritual foundation? The Rosary can provide that foundation, giving you the strength and clarity to face life's difficulties with grace. Pope John Paul II often spoke about the Rosary's power to bring clarity and guidance. In a world full of noise and distraction, how valuable would it be to have a daily practice that helps you focus on what's truly important? The Rosary can be your compass, guiding you towards a more purposeful and fulfilling life. But here's a question to ponder. What's holding you back from making the Rosary a part of your daily life? Is it time, doubt, or simply not knowing where to start? Remember, even Pope John Paul II, with all his responsibilities, found time for this prayer every day. If he could do it, so can you. Think about the legacy you want to leave. How do you want to be remembered by your family and friends? By incorporating the Rosary into your life, you're not just changing your present, you're shaping your future. and the future of those around you. Lastly, consider this. In a world that often feels divided and uncertain, the Rosary offers a way to connect with something greater than ourselves. It's a reminder that we're not alone, that there's a higher purpose to our lives. How might your perspective on life's challenges shift if you truly embraced this truth? As we conclude, I encourage you to take a moment and imagine your life transformed. By the power of the Rosary, picture the peace, the strength, the love it could bring. Isn't that a future worth pursuing? As we come to the end of our journey today, let's take a moment to reflect on the profound wisdom we've explored. The Rosary, as Pope John Paul II so often reminded us, is more than just a string of beads or a series of prayers. It's a powerful, spiritual tool that has the potential to transform your life, your home, and even your community. Think back to where we started. We talked about how many homes have a rosary but don't truly tap into its power. It's like having a key to a treasure chest but never using it to unlock the riches inside. Now that you understand the true significance of the Rosary, you have the opportunity to unlock those spiritual treasures in your own life. Remember the stories we shared? Sarah from New York, who found peace in her once conflict-filled home. John from London, who discovered a new way to manage his anxiety. Maria from Toronto, whose family weathered financial storms with newfound strength. These aren't just nice stories, they're real-life examples of the Rosary's transformative power. And you could be the next story of transformation. Pope John Paul II often spoke about the Rosary as a shield against evil and a source of divine protection. In today's world, where we face so many challenges and uncertainties, couldn't we all use a little extra protection? The beauty of the Rosary is that it's accessible to everyone. You don't need special skills or knowledge, just a willing heart and a few minutes each day. Think about your home for a moment. Is it the haven of peace and love you want it to be? Or are there areas that could use some improvement? The Rosary has the power to change the very atmosphere of your home. It can bring calm where there's chaos, unity where there's division, and hope where there's despair. All it takes is the decision to make it a part of your daily life. But here's the thing. Knowledge without action is like a car without fuel. It won't take you anywhere, so I want to challenge you today. Will you take what you've learned and put it into practice? Will you dust off that rosary that's been hanging on your wall or sitting in a drawer and start using it as the powerful, spiritual tool it is? Imagine how your life could look a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, if you commit to making the rosary a daily practice. Picture the peace you could feel, the strength you could have in facing life's challenges, the love that could flourish in your relationships. That future is within your reach. Pope John Paul II believed that the Rosary had the power to change, not just individuals, but entire societies. By starting with yourself and your family, you're contributing to a larger movement of positive change in the world. Isn't that an amazing thought? Your personal prayer can have a ripple effect that extends far beyond your own life. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, this sounds great, but I'm not sure I have the time. To that, I'd say, start small. Even a few minutes a day can make a difference. Pope John Paul II often encouraged people to pray even just a decade of the Rosary, if that's all the time they had. The key is consistency, not perfection. Others might be wondering, what if I'm not very religious? The beauty of the Rosary is that it's not about being perfect or even knowing all the prayers by heart at first. It's about opening your heart to a deeper spiritual connection. Start where you are, with what you have. The rest will come with time and practice. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with a final thought from Pope John Paul II. He said, "The Rosary is a prayer both so humble and simple and so rich in gospel content that it deserves to be rediscovered by the Christian community. Today, you've rediscovered the Rosary. Now it's up to you to let its power work in your life. Before you go, I have 3 simple requests. First, if you found value in this video, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel. We're committed to bringing you more content that can transform your spiritual life and protect your loved ones. By subscribing, you're ensuring you don't miss out on future insights that could change your life. Second, share this video with someone you care about. Maybe it's a family member who's going through a tough time, or a friend who's searching for more peace in their life. By sharing, you're not just spreading information, you're potentially changing someone's life. Lastly, leave a comment below. Tell us your thoughts, your experiences with the Rosary, or any questions you might have. Your comment could inspire others and start a beautiful conversation about faith and spiritual growth. Remember, the power of the Rosary is waiting for you. Will you unlock it? The choice is yours, and it could be the most important decision you make for your spiritual life. Thank you for joining us on this journey of discovery. May your path be blessed with the peace and protection that the Rosary brings. Until next time, keep praying, keep believing, and keep growing in faith.